I woke up this morning knowing I needed to let go. As most of you know by now, I spent 2 years training as an art therapist, thinking this would be my career going forward. For a number of reasons, this didn't happen. If you want to hear more about this, I suggest you watch my recent video titled How YouTube Changed My Life. But a significant part of this program was creating our own art using art therapy prompts. I can't tell you how much art I made during this program. I created art in class, during training group and group therapy, and with my clients. I made art outside of class too, and for my capstone project, a year-long exploration of myself through poetry and visual art. One thing we learn when training to be art therapists is that often there comes a time when the art has served its purpose. When this time comes, some people may choose to destroy their art as a symbolic way to let go of what's past. Sometimes this is directly after creating it, other times it takes years. Some people hold onto their art forever. Just over a year after graduating, I'm feeling that my art has served its purpose. This is what this video is about. You know, I never actually intended to make any video like this. I actually bought this box, I'd say about a year and a half through my art therapy program with the idea that I was going to keep this art forever. Like, we talked about destroying art when we were in class, like when it's run its course, but like in my head I was like, oh no, I'm gonna keep everything. I'm not ever gonna do anything with it, so why not get something to store it? But lately I've been feeling like I want to start over and refresh things. And this morning I woke up and I was like, no, I think I need to destroy some of my art. And so today we're gonna go through everything. And I am going to keep some of it. I know some of it I still like, but I know there's other pieces in here that I just, like I've said, they've run their course. I don't really need to keep them any longer. Before we start, there is a lot of art in here. There's more art there. I think there's art somewhere else in my house that I still need to find. But I will do my best to go through this really quickly, and so we're not sitting here for like 2 hours trying to figure out what's getting destroyed and what's not. Already off to a bad start because I know I'm going to keep both of these. This was a little note I wrote to myself right near the end of the program, just saying that I know art therapy is interesting and I know that it works, but there's other things that I want to explore as well. And this one I just love because there's a skeleton of some sort on it. So this is the keep pile, this will be the destroy pile. Okay, this one is special. I know I'm keeping this one. That's something else. That wasn't art therapy. This is, you know what, this pile was bad. We're not even going to talk about this pile. I know I'm keeping these things. These sorts of things with all the patterns, this is the kind of stuff I would do when I was working with clients, just because like a big thing about working with clients is you're not supposed to be like perfecting your own art. You're supposed to be like very aware of what's going on in the space. And so I would just doodle little things to keep my hands busy while the other person was making art. So I know I don't need to keep those. I'll probably keep all the collages just because I like them so much. I completely forgot about this. This project took me so long. Like, I'm pretty sure I worked on it from September to April the first year. It was a book on symbols, so we had to choose 25 symbols. Gosh, yeah, here's my table of contents. And we had to choose 25 symbols and talk about, well, we had to make art about it, obviously. We had to talk about the common symbolism within this symbol. We had to talk about how it appears in dreams, in culture, in health, and then like a description of it as well. So like imagine like the research that went into this, all of the art making, and then also copying down everything for 25 different symbols. And I did a couple colors. I love the drawing I did for clock. So I still love this. This, I can't get rid of. This took me so long to make. I want to keep this because I love all the colors and little charms. I used to have this hanging on my wall, but every time the wind blew, it would do this. And so I don't really want to spend the time untangling this. I think this is just gonna have to go, sadly. I might keep the feathers. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this wasn't like very beautifully made. I know I did it very half-assed, but this was part of my final project for the first year. I made a book of poems and I like took some art that I had made and pasted it in. Everything here is, all of the pages are fabric and all of the fabric is, this is from my grandpa who's no longer with us. This is one of his shirts. And then the rest of the fabric is from my grandma who is still alive, but she's a big sewer. And then yarn to represent my grandma who's no longer with us. So, I don't know. I don't really love it, and I feel like it's kind of like done its time. I might take off the fabric that belonged to my grandpa's shirts, but we'll see. Oh, I think this was part of my second year project. Yeah, it was. I'm gonna recycle these and keep the jars. For this one, the concept was really cool, but I don't really love how it turned out either. It's, what was it? I believe it was called a softness box, and so I covered it in fabric, which happens to be from a dress I just cut the bottom off of, interestingly enough. Some of my favorite yarn, and then this is just more fabric, like twisted and glued in here. Some of it from my grandpa's shirts, others just like fabric that I had on hand. I don't feel any attachment to this whatsoever. I kind of want to rip my grandpa's shirts out, but otherwise, like, no. This was my, what did I call this? I think I called it a worry pumpkin. It's not a pumpkin at all, as you can see. But yeah, I shaped this out of clay, I painted it, and then I made some little worry stones to go inside. The only problem is I don't have a kiln. I didn't have a kiln when I built this, and so already a big chunk of it's cracked off. I don't really feel any need to keep this either. This, I remember these. It's not really worth keeping because I never fired them. I just like made them out of clay, but this is just like a little dish thing that I made, and this I remember. I don't know if the video is still up or not, but after my first year, because I had been making videos starting like a week before I started the art therapy program, and then up until like December of the first year, and then things just got way too crazy with school. And so I think it was like June of after my first year of art therapy, I sat down and made a video talking about my experience, and I made this little bowl. But it is, yeah, not fired, so I don't think I need to keep it. These I don't want to get rid of because these are all nice things that people said to me after I presented my personal case study. So these I'll be holding on to, and there's a card in here as well. Oh yeah, these I made in person when we went to Nelson for a few weeks, and we did this workshop, and I loved working with the ink, but I did not love the format of the workshop, and I remember leaving partway through, and at this point I can't remember why I left partway through, but yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. Okay, so the box is empty now, so we're doing good. I just have to go through this little binder now, and I feel like I'm doing a lot better than I thought I would. I really thought that I was going to be keeping a lot more than I am, but so far there's more on the going side than on the keeping side, so that's good. And you know what? I think most of the art inside this binder is stuff that I did with clients, which is a good thing, which means that I won't have to look super duper closely at it before I get rid of it. Yeah, it's mostly, client stuff I did with clients, and then stuff I did like very quickly during like an assignment or whatever. You know, that was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot of sitting there and staring at the art and figuring out what to keep and what not to keep. But interestingly enough, like as soon as I picked up a piece of art, it was very clear to me whether I was keeping it or not. And I think that's a good thing. I think it means that I am ready to let go of what I'm letting go of. So it is a few days after filming that first bit, and we have a problem. So I had this grand idea that I was going to take all these pieces of art out to the river and I was going to build a fire and I was going to burn them all and have it be really cute and symbolic, and maybe not cute, but you know what, it's symbolic and it would look really cool and it would feel really cool. However, I found out this morning that where I live has a province-wide fire ban on, and so I will not be burning them, unfortunately, even though that would have been super duper cool. So I'm gonna have to go the old-fashioned route, I think. You know, all things considered, that actually didn't go half bad. I was a little worried when I read about the fire ban and I was like, oh no, how am I going to end this? But I have to say, I think ripping up and stepping on my art was even more cathartic and symbolic than burning it would have been. And so, yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I'm also happy to have less stuff cluttering up my closet. And you know what's sad is I don't think I'll ever get to do another video like this ever again, because the art I make for myself, I make it for fun, and it's not part of a therapeutic process, and therefore I'm not going to destroy it because it's not the same thing at all. So kind of weird, like this is the only time I'll ever really do this. I feel really happy that I have done it. It's just strange that this is like a one-time thing, and kind of an ending as well, because once I throw this all in the recycling, it's done, it's gone. Anyway, thank you so much for coming along on this strange, cathartic ride today. I hope you had as much fun as I did, and I will see you next time.